So this is a commentary of Dyrus playing. He's actually on the EU West servers. He's been playing a lot on EU West because I guess they say it's like a little more competitive over there. And this game he's playing Rumble, assuming top. That's usually what he plays, of course. And they're gonna have Rise in the middle lane. He'll be playing against a Wukong. Wukong's actually pretty good against a lot of the tanky DPS. Not sure how it'll work out against a more of an AP. Rumble's pretty good at a top lane, so you don't actually see Rumble a lot nowadays, but when you see a good Rumble player, like, he's really scary. So you have to really be careful. He'll do some work if you allow him to just farm up and get ahead, especially if he gets a lot of kills. He becomes like really unkillable with I'm assuming he's going to be building into a Will of the Ancients. That's pretty standard build on a Rumble. Rumbles can go a little bit tankier if they like, or they can just go straight for like a Rylays after that. And, well, I mean, that's tanky as well. But the slow on him is ridiculous. There's just a lot of good things to be said about a Rumble. It's just that you have to get good enough and learn how to play him well. I think Kennen is a he. Sounds like a he, and it looks like one.
30 seconds
for those of you asking in chat. He's not taking his level 1 ability yet. I don't know if he's just waiting or not, but usually I'm pretty sure people usually take their harpoon. He'll take that first. Easy enough to farm with. Cool thing about Rumble is that he doesn't have the mana bar, so as long as you don't lose all your HP, then you can just sit there in the lane as long as you want and farm up minions and get last hits. And that's pretty much what he'll probably be working towards. Jarvan is an interesting jungler. He does have the problem of
minions have spawned.
You gotta land you gotta land the skill shot and knock him up to be an effective ganker. But if you can land that, he's able to do pretty good damage, and it's gonna be a really scary jungler. As far as them, they've got a Lee Sin. I don't think I have to even say anything about Lee Sin, but in case you're not aware, Lee Sin is a wrecking train. But he's the same way. He has to land his skill shot in order to do damage. But the damage that he does do is quite sick. And let me go ahead and cover up the replay bar so you don't see that. Alright, so there we go. Nice pull there onto the blue for Jarvan. Not really losing a lot of HP. And by the way, for those of you that aren't aware, this is a LOL replay. This is flawless. This is done like after the fact. So if I'm watching anyone else on the map, you're not going to see their health bars unless Dyrus himself is actually looking at them. So nothing I can do about that. That's LOL recorder until they actually release an official replay system. But I will be focusing most of my time on Dyrus, so if I miss a first blood or something somewhere else, it's probably on purpose because I just want to watch what Dyrus does in the lane. That way you guys can see how to play Rumble well and how to deal with whatever situations pop up. So I don't know. And there's the level 2 gank. Usually you can expect a level 2 gank from Lee Sin in almost all the cases because it's so easy for him to grab, especially when you're on blue team. It's so easy for Lee Sin to grab that red buff early on and run up to your lane before you hit level 2, and since you have lower health and you have no abilities, it's very easy for him to kill you. Dyrus did a good job though of walking up to the bush and then flashing over him, which allowed him to get away. Wasn't too bad in this case. A lot of times though, if you push up too far and you're a squishier champion, you're gonna have a lot of problems against that. Dyrus did a good job though, and it was good that he actually checked that bush, as I'm sure that Lee Sin would want to sit there and camp. Most people will actually do that. They'll sit there in the bush and they'll camp to see if you're dumb enough to like walk back in the lane and pretend like they've left. In this case, Dyrus did hit him, so he ran back. I don't know if you heard the noise, but he did get hit by that and ran back. So 1 health potion being used already, not too bad. He still's got the 2 more left, and Wukong's the same way. He's got no armor, which he doesn't really need because he's gonna be taking a lot of magic damage. Dyrus is getting pushed up the tower, so it's gonna be safe for him to do last hits, and he is probably gonna miss a few here. That is the unfortunate part about last hitting at the tower, but we'll see how well he actually does at last hitting all those. So he's already missed about 3. Unfortunately, he did miss the big cannon minion, but there's not a lot you can do. You just have to do your best whenever you get pushed to a tower like that. The best possible situation is to try and hold the creeps right outside of the tower attack range. That way it doesn't actually push back against your enemy. Top lane's really tricky like that in that you have to learn how to control the lane. Right now, Wukong's done a bad job of pushing it because he's put himself in a really scary situation. As you can see, Jarvan is already coming out with double buffs, ready to gank him, and Dyrus now is... Oh, there we go. That was actually a nice bush gank from the Lee Sin, and this could be a first blood onto Dyrus, actually, as they are going to fully dive this. That is a first blood. Lee Sin will make it out, and I don't know if Jarvan will knock him up and get an ignite off. Oh, man, this is going to be so close. Will he make it out? Oh, no, the tower is actually just barely going to nick him for the kill, so that's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Unfortunately, Dyrus was not expecting that Lee Sin, and that was a great kick by Lee Sin. By kick, I mean, that was a great resonating, I don't know, whatever it's called. I don't play Lee Sin, so I can't remember the name of the spell, sorry. But yeah, it was a great Q ability by Lee Sin, hitting him and catching him there. I mean, he was literally right at the edge of the range there. So, so that could not have gone much better. And Dyrus had no idea that was there. The only reason he got aggressive is because he wanted to make that gank possible. So it was kind of like he almost got ganked by his own jungler, but it's not like his own jungler was able to know that was there, so that's unfortunate. Dyrus telling him to push the lane is a smart thing to do because, again, once it goes to the tower, it is going to get pushed back, and the Wukong, since he died, is going to lose a few of those creeps. Now, he didn't lose a lot of creeps, but he did lose a few, and now the lane will start slowly pushing its way back towards Dyrus's. Now, on the other hand, if he had not pushed it back, it would have eventually gotten really large there. So it looks like Dyrus is actually going into the jungle and picking up his race, which is very interesting, as he knows that since the lane is pushed, he's got a little bit of time to spend doing that. And then he's just going to run up here to the middle lane. Let's see if he's able to make anything happen. He doesn't have his ultimate just yet, so we can't actually catch him there. But he will go ahead and pick up a little bit of farm here in the middle lane until Ryze gets back, and then head up to the top. Not really losing a lot of creeps. He will lose probably like 1 or 2 here, but he'll be back in time just for the lane to be pushed. So what he's done here is caused Wukong to lose some farm. He's actually picked up some farm of his own, both in the jungle and at the middle lane. And then by the time he gets back, he's ready to just easily farm in safety without losing anything. So that was like a perfect play right there by Dyrus, making a best out of a losing situation. Or by losing, I mean by getting ganked. He actually came out ahead of that, I'd say. And he's about to hit level 6 here. Not sure what Wukong's still out. So yeah, he hasn't lost any levels on Wukong. Wukong now has 2 Doran's blades. And he'll probably get aggressive here, but Dyrus is just going to save that shield, run up, and use it as much as possible to... I mean, usually you have to try and predict when that monkey's going to jump on you. It's kind of hard to do so because it's really quick, but he will be able to block a decent amount of damage with the shield from that. The main thing he wants to do is be able to return as much poke as he receives.
An enemy has been slain.
So there we go. A ward is placed down in the try area here. That's usually the best place if you're going to be playing on the blue side, because that's where most junglers will come in. They'll either come around like this to gank you, or they'll come in from their small golems to either come up here to gank you, going into the bush, or come in this way. You still are a little bit susceptible. If you get pushed to your lane here, you are a little bit vulnerable to bush ganks. But if you can push your lane all the way, you're not really in too much trouble of getting ganked from this area. A lot of times you'll never see a jungler come up from this side unless they expect you to have a ward there. So I guess that's also a tip for junglers. Like if you're against a blue side and you know that the top laner has gone back, you can probably expect that they're going to put a ward down here. Sometimes they'll put a ward there, but the best position from my experience is here. So let's take a look at the farm and see how well he's doing as he's pushing up to the tower here. 43 to Lee Sin's 46. Sorry, not Lee Sin. Wukong. So pretty even. He's not really ahead or behind. Just even. And that's as long as he's not falling behind of the Wukong. He's actually doing a really good job using his flamethrower to do a lot of damage to him. What is he actually leveling up? Let's see. He's leveling up his flame spitter first. That's gonna allow him to do some good AoE farm and just easy poke onto Wukong every time he wants to. Looks like he's gonna... Oh, I think he's charging up his meter here. He wants to go into overcharge as fast as possible. And there is the ultimate, putting it down and an ignite. He will definitely take out Wukong as he does fall, not having any idea that Dyrus is waiting there in the bush for him. Probably not the best move to run up to that location, not in stealth. If I was the monkey, I probably would have gone into stealth and then walked in to check it and then ran back out. So Dyrus is going to have a little bit more free farm. That is going to give him the lead in this lane as well. Don't know where Lee Sin is. Another thing you have to pay attention to as a top laner, especially if you're going to be pushing in like this, is okay, where is Lee Sin at? When was he last seen? And then try and make a mental note of how long it takes to get to different locations. So there Lee Sin is. He's going to show up, try and do a little bit of damage to Dyrus. Dyrus is taking a lot of damage, actually. Probably going to go down to this if he gets hit by one more Q from him. And it is going to be very close. Oh, he actually flashes and misses it. Now really low. And Dyrus will just barely make it out of that. So not bad there, but you can see right there, I mean, Lee Sin just doing big damage, regardless of the fact that he was full health. There's just not much that he could have done. But now with 1600, he is able to pick up his Hex-Tech Revolver. That's going to give him a lot of survivability in the lane. And of course, like I said, he's going to be building into that Will of the Ancients first. And then we'll see if he goes in for a Ryleigh's. Looks like he's picking up a Cloth Armor as well. That'll help him out greatly, both against Lee Sin and Wukong. Very smart choice. You'll see that he picked up a Door End Shield and Cloth Armor. So, I mean, he knows that he has to mitigate some of that damage that they're doing. They're all physical. So that's basically the best choice that he has right now. And as far as everything else is concerned on the map, he's not really going to worry about that. You'll notice that the enemy team is dying a few times here, so he is ahead as a team. Wukong actually coming down to the middle lane to gank, so that's another thing as a top laner. If you can make a difference somewhere else on the map, then you should always do that. But you want to make sure that you do make something happen, because if you lose your tower or you lose a lot of farm, then in the long run it's not going to pay off. But in that case, it worked out for him. So now Dyrus had all that easy farm there, going to force the Wukong to stick around at his turret. He doesn't want to lose these minions here, so he's obviously not going to be chasing. But here comes Lee Sin for the kill. Don't think that he's going to be able to get off here. Wukong is going to try and make it in. Doesn't have his ultimate up, so I doubt that they're going to turn around and try and engage on that, as Dyrus would literally just use his ult and melt them, yeah, with his Flame Spitter. Putting down another ward, as he does have that ready to go. Always having that vision, good choice. I don't know if Lee Sin's going to be in these bushes. Dyrus probably has like a small inkling that it is possible that Lee Sin could jump out of one of these bushes, so he's just going to stay towards the bottom area. Going to let his jungler check the bush for him, and now he's going to go ahead and have the ability to get a little bit more aggressive. And there it is. He does get the knockup. They do see Lee Sin. They're going to have to be very careful here, as Lee Sin will come up with big damage. If Dyrus gets caught here, this is going to be really bad now, as he is caught inside of the own ultimate, but he gets kicked out by Lee Sin, so he actually got saved by Lee Sin as Lee Sin kicks him out. Oh no, but here comes the Kennen coming in from middle lane. Gonna pick up that kill onto him. Will he go down to the jungler though? He has actually taken a lot of damage now with his ultimate down. It's just gonna come down to auto attacks and jukes, as Dolodoro is not gonna be able to pick it up with no mana left, and Kennen just waltzes his way right on out of there. Actually think that he should be careful here, but I think he's gonna be fine. If Rise comes around and is able to catch that Kennen, then that'll be good, but it looks like Kennen's gonna be smart and run his way all the way back. Alright, here we go. He's gonna check the bush, as a lot of people do teleport out right there. That's a very smart check, but Kennen was too smart and ran farther back. There we go. Will of the Ancients is now picked up and almost has enough money for those dodge boots, or well, they're not dodge boots anymore. I'll just call them Tabby. I never called them Tabby before. I always called them dodge boots. Gotta like change my whole paradigm of casting. So let's see how he's doing. I think he's actually out farming him now. 75 to... No, he's not. I'm incorrect. Actually, Wukong is still just even. Grave is actually doing a really good job on bottom. Rai is doing really well. Top laners have been moving around on the map a lot. You'll notice that Dyrus is going for that dragon. So since he was back at his base, he decided to make a play towards the dragon. Anytime you can pick up a dragon, it's going to be very beneficial for the team. He does find a Kennen there, and so he will engage on this, knowing that he can do a lot of damage to him with all the items that he currently has. This Kennen will fall unless he flashes over the wall. He does flash actually over the wall, wasting his flash, but the Rise hits him with a Q right before that happens. But then they just realized that the dragon's gone. I don't think they even, yeah, they didn't even have vision that it was gone till just then. So luckily he does get a kill. Oh, Wukong comes down, trying to make a play here, but I don't know actually why he did that. I mean, there was no dragon up. He didn't necessarily even need to come down. He could have potentially just pushed to the tower and tried to do some damage to it. So Dyrus is going to have an easier time there. He's not going to have to worry about losing health on his tower. Wukong kind of wasted some time there, since he did not make a play. Looks like bottom lane still getting pressured really hard. Sona lane really strong, putting in that ultimate. And here comes, oh man, Jarvan doesn't get the knockup in, and now he's just kind of blocked himself into the turret, taking a lot of damage from that. as he is able to lock her in, though Graves does pick up the kill and will definitely take out the Soraka, unless she is going to flash over the wall, which, okay, there she goes. She flashes over the wall, but so does he, and will he get the kill? That heal might just be too much, and here comes Kennen with his ultimate. Will he take out Graves? I don't know. Their health bars are not being shown, so normally I wouldn't be looking at this, but there's a lot of action going on here, and Dyrus is just sitting there up top farming at this point in time. Oh, man. Now it's going to turn around. The Sona does fall as she wastes her flash as well. That is too bad. Too many flashes wasted. And a lot of people are just getting baited here. So much chasing. They should have just left the Caitlyn as their kill, but instead they lost 2 more for that. You have to watch those death timers and be very aware of where everybody is going to be on the map. You can't be too greedy all the time. Here you go. It looks like Lee Sin on the bottom running away, and as Dyrus does want to see if he can cut him off, he may be actually going around behind the turret. He does have his ultimate. Oh no, he stepped on a Caitlyn trap, so he is going to get detected. They will not be able to be sneaky here, and he's probably just going to have to head back up to the top lane after picking up these wraiths and continue his farm. Actually, he's not even going to pick up the wraiths. He's just going to head straight up top, try and put the... yeah, he doesn't want to lose any more creeps, and probably he will just start pushing that tower down. Ryze is doing a really good job right now. He's got 119 farm, more than anyone else in the game. Okay, here it is. Big engage there onto this Ryze. He probably will go down as Wukong ultimate is just too much for him to survive. And it's going to be up to Jarvan now to sit there in the middle lane and farm up those creeps until he gets back. Looks like Dyrus, once again, after pushing that last minion wave, is going to come back down, see if he can make a play here. Catch someone in the jungle possibly, as he knows that Lee Sin did head that direction. So he will be coming around knowing that Lee Sin most likely will be going for the red. Nope, looks like actually Wukong went for the red. So here he goes. Nice ultimate going down there. Definitely going to have to walk through that in order to get away. And Wukong now with not much left over, but it is now Dyrus by himself with an ultimate. And 3-1. There's no way he's making it out of this. Almost getting a kill, but just not able to make it happen as he just jumps out. Dyrus kind of mad because they did not focus down the Kennen. So it didn't work out for him too well at all, as they did want to get that counter juggle. Wukong was just there, and Kennen, you know, he saw it happening. It was just not good. Oh, nice little knock up there from Jarvan. Will he be able to take out Wukong? I don't know. Wukong probably going to use his... oh, wow. Actually, Wukong is pretty far ahead. He's going to have to be really careful here. Using a heal as a bait there from Soraka. And he will actually probably pick up the kill with the red buff. Just outplayed. Wow, that was crazy. That was just crazy. Using his heal. I don't know if that was actually Soraka ultimate. I guess he does have his own heal. So, nice little bait there. He goes into invisible mode. Uses the heal while invisible. Making it seem like for Jarvan that he's gonna be low enough to kill, but yeah, that was actually a really good play by that Wukong. I have to give him giant props on that one. Oh man, a little bit of lag there. Sorry about that, guys. That's I think that's my fraps. Okay, there we go. Back to normal. Okay, here we go. Lee Sin is spotted by a ward to come up and gank this Ryze, but Ryze will probably be okay. Just going to run up behind his minions, not get hit by any Qs, and he should be fine. Dyrus, no, will take out the top tower and probably head down to the middle to try and make another play. No, he's just going to farm these here, and then I guess he'll head down. Wukong going back to the base, going to buy some items. 3 Dorans, so pretty strong item actually on Wukong. Allows him to get ahead early on. Of course, it's going to slow him down into his late game build, but that gives him that tankiness that he needs to stay alive and do the baits, and a little bit of survivability and the damage. So a little bit of all that. It's just that later on you wish you hadn't done it. But if you get the early game advantage, it makes up for the fact that you bought all those. However, if you buy all 3 Dorans and you don't get an advantage early on, it's not as strong. The whole point of buying Dorans early is for the early game. Okay. So at this point in the game, 18 minutes in, we're just about ending the laning phase. You're going to see more roaming on the map, as you do notice the Lee Sin is coming up to the middle. So is Soraka holding up here with the Wukong. Now that he doesn't have a tower, he's either going to sit there and farm those creeps, or he's going to try and push down a tower. It's going to be really hard for them to do that, though, with Rumble here and Rise, as they will be able to completely burst somebody down in no time. If Rise gets a binding off and then Dyrus is able to throw down his ultimate, it's going to be very difficult for somebody to survive through that. What does he actually have? Yeah, he's going to be building into a Rylai's right now. He did pick up that Ninja Tabby, finally. Alright, here goes the blue fight. They do pick that up, but here is the burst from the Graves. Not actually able to kill the Soraka as her heal is too much. And Caitlyn uses her ultimate to do a little bit of damage before she runs into the fight. Wukong ultimate, not able to take anyone out. Now that Graves is really low, he will fall to the Wukong. And a knock up there from Jarvan. Will Jarvan be able to pick up the kill? Nice job from Dyrus running in with the nice ultimate. Takes one kill there onto the Kennen. And he does take out the Caitlyn as well. That's another kill. Will he get a triple if he can land a slow onto the Lee Sin? There's no way he's getting away from that one. And that was a great triple there for Dyrus, and the dragon just respawns. Perfect timing on that fight there, and that's going to set them really far ahead at this point. 4 for 1, as that's not a good fight at all. At all. That was a really good job for Dyrus. Instead of Dyrus coming around this way, he made the smart choice and ran around from behind, making it seem like they had the advantage until he got there, and then it was just boop, all done. So this is where you think to yourself, man, I need to learn Rumble, because Rumble's one of those people. It's really hard for him to lose in the lane. There are some people that can counter him out, but if you play well, you'll be just fine. And then the fact that you're just so tanky and you stay alive and you can build double Will of the Ancient. So since Rise is in the game, once Rise finishes up some of his core items, he'll be building into a Will of the Ancients as well, giving them that stacking Will of the Ancients buff. And you'll see Rumble run into a fight. His health will go low. He'll just do like 2 spells, and then boom, his health is back up. And that's just the crazy thing about it. Rise almost going down here. Will he be able to survive? Just barely makes it out long enough for Wukong to sit in here, but I don't think Wukong's even going to go down, as he's so tanky right now from all of his health items that he's going to be fine. The Caitlyn does fall down on the bottom lane to a one-on-one to Graze, but here comes Dyrus. He wants to come in for this 1v4. Will he pick up a kill? That was kind of crazy, as I just don't think that he had enough to make it happen, and all he's got is Jarvan in there to help him out. So probably, I guess he didn't realize that Wukong had his ultimate ready to go, and that really destroyed him quickly. So kind of a misplay by Dyrus there, and I think they're also underestimating how much health this Wukong has at this point. He's so hard to take out. Yeah, as you see right now, they are just destroying these guys. They're really losing that lead that they had by making these bad plays, running in 1v4 and getting taken out. They need a little bit more focus in order to actually win these fights. They lost another middle tower, and gonna have to get back there to the mid quickly, or they're gonna lose this one as well. I'm assuming that purple team will probably back off at this point, ward up their jungle if they have wards ready to go, and start setting up for a Baron fight. So they haven't taken the blue buff. That's gonna be good. Rise can pick that up. And Caitlyn just continues to farm on bottom as she is trying to pick up that Infinity Edge. She will be much stronger once she has that ready to go. And actually, he's not going for Rylai's, so I was incorrect about my thoughts on what he was building into. So instead of going for the Rylai's for the extra slow and tankiness, Dyrus is going to go straight for Death Cap for big burst damage, and is going to leave the tankiness to his Rise and Jarvan, and that makes sense. If you have a lot of tanky people on your team, sometimes it's okay to forego being tanky yourself in order to just go for more damage. So you just kind of have to play your builds based off of what your team is doing, and that makes sense in this case. They do need the extra damage, as purple team seems to be like living in these situations they just need more damage in. Looks like the cannon does take quite a bit of damage from this Rise without too much poke in return. Oh, sorry about that. I should probably silence my Skype whenever I do my showcasts. Alright, so they're going to try and poke down this tower a little bit here. They've got 4 ready to go, but it's going to be 5v4. They do not want to get caught into this fight right now without Rumble there. As Dyrus is walking up, though, they should be a little bit safer. At the same time, though, they have to be careful that Wukong is very dangerous. He now has a Last Whisper ready to break through any defenses that these guys have built up, as Jarvan will give the entire team a nice little buff once he places his standard down. However, they are going to be, they're just going to have to make use of that in a proper situation. They can't just run into the middle and let them all use their AoEs. Kennen and Wukong ulting on top of each other is going to be really difficult. Another thing that's really hard for them to deal with is the fact that Soraka heal on top of all of their tanky teammates is just really hard for them to penetrate through. So they're going to have to be able to survive the initial burst from Purple Team and have proper focus to take some people down. Okay, here is a nice little engage. Looks like they're just going to back off though, as he knows he doesn't have the burst required to finish off Wukong right now. Nice little job over the wall though, trying to pick him up, as he will be able to engage on this. Lee Sin gets knocked up, and Jarvan wants to make a fight happen here. He blocks in Kennen. Nice job there. Going to stop Kennen ultimate from hitting the entire team, but he will fall for that. And there it goes. Wukong actually picks up the kill onto the Jarvan, but here is Dyrus doing big damage on everybody. Not actually able to catch him and finish him off, but Wukong will finish off Dyrus. I don't think Dyrus can make it out from this alive. No, he does not. And now this is a lot of diving right here. He knows he's going to die, but he wants to pick up more kills in return. Oh man, nice heal there. Just wasn't enough though. And that was a fair trade, except for that last one there. It's going to be a 3-for-4 exchange in favor of Purple Team. They are having a lot of trouble with this Wukong. He's so tanky right now. If Ryze can take one of them out here, that's actually going to be really good. And he does! He does take him out, and that's going to be the ace for Purple Team. But not before Ryze is able to pick up one last kill on the Wukong and gets that killing spree. So I'd say maybe even better for Blue Team there, because that killing spree is worth a lot more. And Purple Team saying, why don't you give us a penta? I don't think it would have been an actual penta. Sorry, a little bit of lag there, but now we're good. Because he waited a little bit too long before he killed him. Alright, so Death Cap is finished up now for Dyrus. And a Will of the Ancients. Let me see if Ryze has his. Looks like he will be building into it now. He has the first component, Amplifying Tome. Will go into the Revolver next. Just doesn't have the gold required to do so. And I'm assuming that Dyrus' next item will be... Actually, I don't know. He's got an Amplifying Tome, so he's either going to go for another Revolver or he'll just go for... I guess he could go for Riley's, and maybe he's just picking up the smallest component of that. I usually hate doing that. I usually would pick up wards, but he just wants that extra damage as soon as possible. And he still has a health potion. I'm curious why he didn't pick up a ward. I guess he's just trying to save as much money as possible and let the ward placement be taken care of by Jarvan and by the Sona, who only has 2. Okay, here we go. Nice little gauge there onto the Sona, almost killing her. She's going to have to back out very quickly. That damage from Kennen is quite strong. He went for more of a tanky build. He's got the Rylays as well as the Will of the Ancient, so it's going to be a little bit harder to take him out, although he won't be able to just completely insta-burst somebody down as a Death Cap Kennen would be. But that's the thing about this team right here, is they got that Soraka and they've got that survivability, so that's why it's been really hard for Blue Team to just finish them off. So right now you're just seeing Blue Team as well as Purple pick up any of their jungle that is left over. They're trying to pressure the lanes, push them out. They know that any mistakes right now could end in a Baron capture and possibly in the game. It's very close right now, 22 team kills to 21 in favor of Blue. Not really sure of the dragon count, so apologies on that. But I would say right now, based on the farm, let's take a look here. If you were to match it up, I'd say it's actually fairly even on the farm. So yeah, I'd say right now that they're actually extremely close, and it's just going to come down to a proper position team fight. Now right now, a nice ward is going to catch everybody running towards the dragon area as they are wanting that to respawn. Since they are all seen down there, this is a good chance for Blue Team to pick up this Baron. They're going to go ahead and take the blue buff for that Ryze and then head that direction. Now that Caitlyn's on bottom, all they have is 4 people up here to stop this Baron from happening. They could possibly catch this Wukong. He's going to have to be careful. Caitlyn needs to head up here very quickly, or they're going to possibly lose this Baron. At the same time, it's going to be very risky for them to do this Baron because Baron's going to be doing a lot of damage to them, and if they do get engaged on, Wukong can jump in there and he's tanky enough that he could potentially take everybody out, and Caitlyn is on the way. So this fight would still be happening when Caitlyn gets here. There she is. She's already heading up to the middle. There's the ultimate, And a nice binding from Rise keeps the Kinnan from doing anything to his team. Jarvan just barely survives there. Soraka actually picks up a kill onto the Graves. Dyrus full health here with that spell vamp, just not able to do anything to him. And wow, the Soraka actually picks up another kill onto Rise. And Dyrus is doing work here. That's a 2-for-2 exchange so far. Caitlyn just wasn't there in that fight. She would have done so much if she was there that whole time, but she was too busy on the bottom farming. Either way, they did stop them from getting Baron. It's a 2-for-2 exchange. Nobody really came out ahead of that one. And other than the fact that the lanes are pushing in favor of purple team, so we'll have to see if that pressure is going to pay off for the next dragon, or sorry, for the next Baron fight. And so, yeah, he did go for another revolver. Dyrus is going for straight up, heal myself up to full mode. And while he can get bursted very quickly, once their big burst abilities are down, Dyrus has the ability to really just keep himself alive for a large amount of time. So I'm curious right now if he's going to go for he could go for a Spirit Visage, or he can go for some health. Right now he's got very low health. Spirit Visage will give him a little bit of health and some resist to help out against the Kinnan, but that's the only AP on the team, so it wouldn't be as strong as perhaps some armor. I could see him going for maybe a Zhonya's, just for that armor and extra damage component. There's a lot of options really at this point, but they are mostly a physical team, so the rest of his team should be building armor as well. You see armor being built on Graves as well. He's probably going to go for a G8. Jarvan continuing to build armor as well, actually going into an Aegis, which is going to help out his entire team considerably, in addition to placing down his standard, which gives an AoE buff to the team also. Rise has the Frozen Heart, so at this point they have a really good counter, I feel like, to purple team. In fact, I would say that blue has the late game advantage in this situation. They're just going to get stronger. The tankier they get, the more difficult it is going to be for purple team to win these fights. Sona has got her oracles ready. She's got a Shurelya, so they got a lot of engage potential as well, or escape if necessary. However, no real wards put down right now. They do need to pick up. Okay, there's one ward there, as Soraka does have that oracle. She can easily pick that ward up. And so they're going to have to get some vision of this Baron very soon if they want to make sure that it is not picked up. Ping's going down. They know that they have to get there as Kinnan is heading that direction. It's a very good possibility that they are doing that Baron or trying to bait it out. So they're all going to have to run up there very quickly. I don't know why they're pinging that red. They really need to get to Baron right now, as I'm almost certain that they're up there trying to make that happen. Alright, no one is actually doing it, so that's very interesting. That would have been a good bait if they had decided to do so. It looks like they were actually hanging out in a different bush, probably expecting blue team to do Baron so that they can run in behind and make an engage happen. So it's smart that they didn't do it. A lot of times people engage on Baron hoping to get Baron, and it's a lot of times a bad idea, because if you give up a Baron engage, you're almost certain to lose the game after that if they continue to push that advantage. So at times trying to do Baron is actually more detrimental to your team than actually doing it. It's sometimes more beneficial to just hang out at Baron and wait for the enemy team. If you know you can win an engage there, to just wait for them to come, don't actually start the Baron, and then just pick someone up as they do try and come stop you from doing Baron. Things going down. They want to push this back, but they can't send too many resources down there to do that. Otherwise, they risk losing Baron. They have to have wards down. If they can get a ward down in this area, then... Okay, here it is. There is the engage. Lee Sin runs in. Gonna try and do some damage to Rise. Rise makes it out just in time so he doesn't get stunned by that Kinnan. And Kinnan's ults have just not been landing very well this game, but a lot of damage coming in onto Jarvan. Jarvan will definitely fall to this Wukong here after a couple more attacks. He does heal himself up, but will it be enough? No, he does fall down now. Back in here, Graves is doing big work on the team. He's probably going to be able to take out this guy with one more attack, as he does, but GA pops and he's still alive. Can he take out this Kinnan? It's going to be really close. And no, because Caitlyn is there doing some work on him. Flash over the wall, and Kinnon's going to make it alive. Dyrus is going to have to turn around and use his cooldowns to keep himself alive. He's got his shield, and now will he be able to heal himself up with that spell vamp? Look at how much health he's regaining, and that was just enough to survive. If he did not have that spell vamp, he would have definitely fallen to Wukong. But as you can see, the Will of the Ancients plus the Hextech Revolver, it just continued to heal him, and that on top of the fact that they had the debuff on Frozen Heart right close to him and Sona, it was just enough to keep him alive. And now he's almost back to half HP. Just shows the power of having someone like Rumble on your team with that spell vamp. So, and actually, yeah, Rise was there too. So he had the added benefit of a second Will of the Ancients, which they do stack on top of each other for the people that own them. So that is a very large amount. So that means he had 50% spell vamp just from the Will of the Ancients, and then another 15% from his Hextech. So yeah, that's where you get all that health back. Overall, pretty good engage. I thought it turned out in the favor of blue team, and they definitely need to get these vision wards down around Baron so that they can safely push down this bottom tower if necessary. Now, they were able to remove the oracles from Soraka, so this is going to make it extremely beneficial for them. Sona still has hers, so it's not going to be a problem. They can now place down as many wards as they need to and safely push other lanes, because if they go towards Baron, they'll know that they can engage on that. All they need to do is send one person to the bottom, possibly, to push that out, and while the other four just kind of keep everybody else at bay. At this point, I feel like Wukong's going to start falling off. Just because everyone is getting tanky enough to handle him. And he's not able to burst him down. Here's a nice ultimate coming in. He is doing big AoE damage to 3 people, but they do make it out alive. Jarvan flashes out of his own ultimate, trying to escape. He does make it out with just a little bit of HP, plus that shield helps him out tremendously. And now they are going to run in there with Lee Sin down. They know that they have the advantage, and like I said, this late game advantage is coming into the favor of blue team. I think they will possibly be able to push in for the win here if they continue to play like this. So I'm looking at chat here. One of you guys asked, what does spell vamp do? For any of the spells that attack the enemy champion, it just returns some of that damage to you as health. It's just like lifesteal, but for spells instead of auto attacks. Alright, so they are now moving towards the Baron. They have plenty of vision here. They push up the lanes. Every single lane is pressuring, so they have complete map control at this point, and they can do this Baron extremely fast. They have a lot of damage in here. They are going to have to be careful, though, as their wards do detect everybody coming in to try and make it stop. So I bet this Kinnon has his ultimate ready to go. He's probably going to try and flash over and steal this, but it's very low. They can't stop doing it at this point. They will pick it up. Almost lost. It looks like Soraka flashes in to try and steal it. Probably not the best idea, as she will probably go down, and she is going to fall. Yeah, I don't think that was the best move, Soraka. Now they will be able to easily push down the rest of these towers and take them out. They're going to go ahead and ping that dragon. Pick the dragon up for the extra gold. That should help out anyone who is not level 18. That's Sona and a Jarvan. They're both a little bit underleveled compared to the rest of the team, so they will be able to pick that up without any opposition. Rise is just going to wait here and zone in one out that comes by. Possibly even pick up the blue buff and steal that from them. So, actually, it's already down, so they're not going to be able to take that. They will pressure the bottom now, and it looks like some Graves is going to go ahead and go back. What is he going to buy? He's already got... oh, yeah, he's going to go for Last Whisper. And that should help out tremendously. Let's take a look at the armor of the enemy team. So, holding down tab here, you see Kinnon, Wukong, and of course Soraka heals, which give extra armor bonus. So yeah, a couple of the enemy do have that armor. Sorry about that. A couple of the enemy do have armor, so that Last Whisper is going to be a really good choice. Always as an AD, once you finish your core build, which is generally an IE, an Infinity Edge plus Phantom Dancer, you'll go for the Last Whisper. In his case, I think it was very smart that he did pick up a Guardian Angel, since most of them are physical damage. That gives him a lot of armor, plus the ability to respawn once every, I think, like 5-6 minutes or so. Whatever the cooldown is, I don't know if it's that long. It's pretty long. But yeah, being able to respawn like that is a very big deal. In fact, I think in like Heroes of New Earth, you have to kill their Baron creature, and he gives you like an item that does the same sort of thing. So being able to buy an item that does that for you is pretty beneficial. But yeah, he's pretty much fully stacked right now. The only thing he has left to build is a Bloodthirster, which he will be picking up next. As far as Dyrus is concerned, he did go for the Zhonya's Hourglass like I expected, so he got that armor into the Zhonya's Hourglass, which is going to allow him to run into the middle of everybody, throw down all of his spells, and if he starts to get focused, all he's got to do is push 3 on his number pad, and boom, he's going to be invulnerable for like, what is it, 2 seconds, sorry. So really strong item altogether. All right, here we go. Everybody is just pressuring as Jarvan does push top. They're going to do a little bit of a split. They know that they're strong enough to do so. Let's see if anyone has some wards to place down. I'm sure that Sona will, of course, have those ready to go. The best thing that you can do when you're ahead like this is just place down wards in the enemy jungle and continue pushing all of the lanes until you find somebody who gets out of position, or you're able to just poke down these towers. As you can see, Purple Team just cannot engage on them right now. Otherwise, they're risking getting caught and dying in a fight. So they're going to easily take out this tower. And that's really all you need to do when you're in a head like this, is push in the creeps and use your ranged champions to take down the tower HP. And you just continue doing this until you get to the inhibitors. It's not always beneficial to dive if necessary. See, right here they have enough tankiness. This guy's barely going to lose any HP at all. Jarvan's able to sit there and take literally all of those tower hits while they finish off the tower because they have enough people there. They got there fast enough that Purple Team was not able to respond. Now, obviously, that would have been a bad situation if Purple was like, boom, ready to go jump on them while the tower was hacking them. But this late into the game, they have so much armor, since they're all building AD, that they knew to build armor for that. They can literally just tank those towers for a while and not really be affected by it. So these guys are going to have to be really conscious of that. Once they jump in for a fight, I think they could possibly win that, but they don't want to take the tower for too long. So they're just going to sit here and do the safe thing. They're going to come up to the tower, push the creeps out, and allow their Graves to poke on it. Here is engaged. They know that they have to make this happen, so here is the Kennen with his ultimate, actually getting a lot of people stuck inside of that. Now Dyrus is going to be stuck, and I don't know if he even got his, he does get his Zhonya's off, but he's still just not enough. He is going to fall. Really nice engage by the Kennen. This entire game, we haven't seen a lot of good Kennen ultimates, but that was definitely one of them. And now it's just going to be up to Graves to try and finish everyone up. Actually, he takes off. Wow, he's already killed 3 people, and his Jie is used. I don't think he's going to be able to kill Caitlyn and Wukong here. He will definitely fall very quickly, so the Guardian Angel didn't actually work out that well for him. Now, if he had been focused down first and his Guardian Angel went off, that's when it's most beneficial. However, if they focus him down at the very end, then your Guardian Angel's not that useful because you're just going to die and lose it anyways. In the end, though, I'd say it was okay. Like, it was not a good idea for them to get so great. They kind of like ran in a little too far on the tower there and ended up losing that fight. But the good thing is that the Graves was able to kill off 3 of them, so it's just a few left to finish this off. The bad thing is that they have Wukong and Caitlyn, so they're easily going to be able to jump up here and take out the inhibitor. So Purple Team now has the advantage on pushing because having that inhibitor down will cause the super minions to spawn for Purple Team, as well as give every single one of their minions increased HP, which will make them naturally push out against blue. So they're going to have to literally sit here for a while and just wait for that inhibitor to respawn, which in that time they'll probably see Baron back up as well. Dyrus will be able to grab this blue buff for Rise, and we'll just have to see how the next team fight goes. This is very close at this point. After that last fight, I'm not so sure for blue team anymore, as this game, I mean, it's so back and forth right now. It's just going to come down to one more of those team fights. Like, if they lose a team fight right now, if blue loses a team fight, it's just going to be Caitlyn and Wukong running in and destroying these 2 towers with no inhibitor up. And they can easily do that, I think. Wukong has so much armor right now that he can literally just tank that turret for a little bit while Caitlyn attacked it if everyone was aced. Kennen has a lot of armor as well. Well, not a lot, but he has enough armor to handle a little bit of attacks. Wukong getting another chain vest, man. That is so much. So much. Let's see, what else does he have? Caitlyn just building straight damage. Not very tanky at all. If they can take her out quickly, that'll be very good for them. Yeah, this is getting very late game. To the point, oh man, he's gonna have to be careful. They are gonna get caught here. This is really bad for Rise, but he gets kicked out by the, oh, why are you doing that, Lee Sin? You saved him, but Sona makes a mistake of running in for some reason. What are you thinking? Gets taken out. They would have been fine there. Bad move by Lee Sin, but worse move by Sona. Yeah, well, okay. I don't think Sona saved him, to be honest. Well, she did run in here and use her ultimate. I think, well, no, she didn't use her ultimate. I don't know what she was doing, to be honest. She got him to trade their focus onto her, but I think since he got kicked out by Lee Sin, outside of Kenan's ultimate, that made it possible. Right now, they're just waiting for Baron to respawn. They might have the timer on that. But you can see them just hanging out in the area, knowing that once that respawns, they can probably pick it up with Sona being down there. This match is just so very close. Looks like Purple will pick up that dragon. And now that Baron is up, I feel that Sona, okay, Sona is up too, so she's going to be able to head that direction. A lot of pressure though on these lanes. Graves is going to use his AoE buckshot to try and farm down these minions as fast as possible. They need to make sure and push these lanes out so that they have the map control necessary to actually go and engage in on that Baron fight. And right now, Purple Team knows that it's going to be very risky for them to actually start a Baron unless they have full control of all of the lanes. So you probably won't see any Ninja Barons unless somebody gets caught and gets killed, and then the other team will be able to pick that up. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, what is Dyrus going to be building into next? He actually picked up a Void Staff. Very smart choice. That will give him the magic penetration that he needs to do the damage that he wants. Okay, here we go. Nice little engage there. It is going to be very dangerous, though, as Jarvan is going to try and engage the full team on by himself, as everyone else is not really in position. Big damage going down on this Kenan, using his zombies to stay alive, and now the Graves will fall, or sorry, the Rise will fall, and so does Jarvan, but it's going to be 3 for 2 so far, as blue team actually came out ahead of that fight. Dyrus doing really big damage now. Soraka, no way she's going to get away from that one. She will definitely fall, and Graves chasing in here extremely quickly. Aces the team. That was a terrible fight, but mostly a great engage by that Jarvan. He gave up his life in order to just force a fight to happen there, and they're going to pick up a Baron here for sure. They don't. Now, normally you would push the lane right here at this point, but since the creeps are actually so far down here and they've still lost their inhibitor, it's going to take too much time for them to push in like that, and they don't have their Jarvan or Rise to tank the turret. So instead, they're going to go ahead and pick up an easy free Baron after that engage, and that's going to give them the lead that they need, as well as gold, to go ahead and pressure the lanes back out. Also, I think their inhibitor is about to respawn in 1 second, so as soon as that respawns, they'll be able to regain their lane control, as well as have this Baron buff on 3 of their champions. And we'll have to see how the next fight goes. If they can continue to engage like that, that Jarvan did a great job, then I think they're going to go ahead and win this next fight, and that could be the game. Okay. So here we are. Rise is going to go ahead and use his ultimate, probably AoE down these minions here. Yep, there we go. Just completely wreck those. Jarvan's got the middle lane while Dyrus is picking up top. Still no ward control. They are going to have to put some wards down in order to get full map control, but as they start to push out, I imagine they will start to make that happen. As Sona did pick up 5 wards, so she's ready to go. She's got the right idea in mind. Bloodthirster picked up 4. Oh man, this is a full stacked right now. He's got his red tea and his blue tea. I don't see, oh yeah, and green. So he's got triple pot and a door. He's just got so much gold that he's literally bought everything possible. His GA is back up. Guardian Angel ready to go off. If he does die, he will respawn with a little bit of HP. And Jarvan almost fully stacked as well with a Randuin's and an Atma's Impaler. So 199 damage, or attack damage. Rise fully stacked. He's got Archangel's Staff built in. You never build that on Rise unless that's literally the last item. And if you look at his item build, that is literally the last item. He's also got his Elixir. So these guys are literally fully stacked and ready to go. This is going to be crazy for this next fight. Rise mana at 4,300, so I wonder how much damage his Q is doing. It does quite a bit. I don't know the scaling on it, but it does scale based on his mana. So with 4,300 mana, that's going to be hitting like a truck. And the fact that he's got 2,400 health with 200 armor and 100 mattresses, I mean, he's hard to kill. Plus, he's got that Will of the Ancients, which stacks with Rumbles. So both him and Rumble are almost unkillable because the amount of damage they can output they'll literally heal themselves for as much damage as they're taking. As long as they don't get CC'd or something like that, they're just going to be bam, 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 doing a lot of damage. And that's why I feel like now that blue team has such a massive advantage, because they, I mean, their champions alone are just, they're just stronger late game with the items. And that's all there is to it. I still feel, okay, sorry about the little lag here. I think Fraps is switching over to a new file again. Okay, there we go. So here could be a nice engage. No, he does miss the knock up. They do make it out just in time. He's going to get stunned, and they're going to be pushed back a little bit. Sona will be able to heal him back up, though. No problem for her. She doesn't have any AP items other than her Kage's lucky pick. Obviously, as they... Oh, wait, hang on a second. Did they... They built 2 Aegis. I wonder if that's... Okay, that actually stacks onto them, so it's good for Jarvan and it's good for Sona that they have 2 Aegises, but I don't know if that was a miscommunication or not. Usually you don't build 2 Aegis of the Legions. Our items do stack just for the 2 champions that bought them, but for everyone else, you just have 1 of the buffs. Rumble now has enough. He's probably going to turn this into like a gunblade. I bet you he does. That's what I'm assuming he's going to turn his revolver into, because one part of Rumble's damage is going into overload and auto-attacking people for big amounts. So that, I mean, it definitely won't hurt him to have that extra. I mean, it turns into lifesteal from auto attacks plus the massive amount of spell vamp that he's going to be getting from his abilities. That's the only thing I can see him going into next. Alright, what about you, Sona? What do you got? I could see Sona going for... she could go for a Deathfire Grasp. Okay, so they do take out the turret. Now it's going to be safe for them to go ahead and engage here. Wukong goes in with his ulti. Doesn't really do a lot of damage, but here's the ultimate from Kennen. He doesn't really do a lot with it. That was a nice ultimate from the... oh my god, everyone's taking a lot of damage here, but yeah. It's going to be really bad as they're on the run. Purple team not going to be able to finish this off. Graves comes out alive. The only one dying is Jarvan, but he did his job. He actually... Oh wait, everyone is backing off here. I feel like Dyrus got a little scared because he's low, so he doesn't want to fall. That actually turned out in the favor of Purple team for that fight. They did take down the turret, but they didn't take out the inhibitor. But anyways, Jarvan had a great ultimate there that fight. He kept Kennen out of blue team doing a lot of damage, but I think he did hit one other person in that fight. Unfortunately, Gray stayed a little bit too long. He died there at the end, lost his Guardian Angel. So this is a little bit more back and forth than I thought. I was almost certain that blue team would have won the next fight, like, without any problem at all. However, I guess Dyrus just got too low there and wasn't able to stay in. They did a good job of focusing him down. And now they're going to lose another inhibitor. And this could be a loss for blue team. Oh no, Dyrus is going to go down. Now this is really bad. He's going to have a timer of 62 seconds. This gives Caitlyn a chance to just sit here and push in. The only one able to stop them is Ryze. Ryze actually very scary. Hey, you could watch the damage he's going to be able to do to the Soraka. But I don't know. I mean, this is going to be one of those things where they're going to have to watch these respawn timers as Jarvan is now back up. And Caitlyn could do, wow, big damage there from her ultimate. Just not enough. They're going to have to get out of there. Oh, there is the Shirelli's Reverie. They might just be able to catch Wukong. No, he makes it out to the left. Caitlyn and Soraka are going to be running this way and will make it out alive. Whew, this is coming down to the wire. I just don't know who's going to win at this point. Oh, nice ultimate going onto the Soraka as she flashes out. So ultimate down, but flash being used as well. And he's not going to be able to engage and stick them in there. Ryze going to go down eventually if they continue to burst him down. But look at his health going up. Just not enough, though. He doesn't have enough spell vamp to make this happen. Still 17 seconds left on Dyrus coming in. Looks like Graves wants to try and kill the Soraka, but Soraka's doing a great job of staying alive here. She's actually baited out the entire fight. Stays in a little bit too long, does fall, and Graves picks up 2 kills. Actually, one onto Caitlyn and one onto Soraka. But now with Jarvan on the run here, is he going to be able to kill this Wukong? It's so close. Ultimate coming in. Will he get the stun up before Wukong does die? Oh my god. He actually picks him up with the ultimate. Dyrus came in at the last second. Takes the kill. 439 gold for the killing spree. And my goodness, that was a crazy back and forth fight there with Purple team actually, I don't know, I'd say Purple team actually did not, well, I'd say Purple team actually came out ahead on the kills there. But it's really hard to say. I mean, it's just so close right now that it's just going to come down to, like, who makes the mistake here in the next team fight. So he actually sold out his revolver and instead picked up a Rylace. which makes sense. He was a little low on HP and he was dying fast. He knew that. So he picked up the Rileys, which is going to give him that survivability. He's going to have the slow as well now, which is going to help them to either kite people or engage and chase them in fights. So that's going to be pretty strong. And at this point, all he has left to buy is elixirs. So he's fully stacked. Unfortunately for Graves, he has lost his Guardian Angel. So he won't have that ready to go for now. No, nice. Sona actually picks up a Stark's Fervor. That's going to be really strong for the Jarvan as well as the Graves. Okay. I think right now we are looking at another potential fight at the Baron. They're kind of split up right now. They don't have Jarvan there. He's going to have to watch out. He does use his slow to push them back. Harpoon being used twice to give a very large stacking debuff of slow. Once you add that to Riley's slow, since it is a single target, it gives a 35% slow in addition to what... Okay, so they are actually going to go ahead and start this Baron. Will he be able to pick it up? They're not doing a lot of damage to it, and this is going to be a lot of AoE. Jarvan does the ultimate, actually stopping himself, or stopping Caitlyn. That was nice. He just left the ultimate down. Caitlyn was shoved out of the fight, and it doesn't allow her to do the damage she needs to do to finish this up, and that's going to be blue team's advantage. I have to give this game to Jarvan. Like everyone else is tanky and they're doing a good job, but these ultimates from Jarvan are just completely shutting out the enemy team. Normally, I think Jarvan's would probably turn off their ultimate and go after that Caitlyn, but what he did, like, she jumped over to save herself from him, and what that did was she was not able to do damage that entire time. So like it's almost like he instantly killed her. She was not in that entire fight at all, and now he's actually going to catch the Soraka. So, oh man, this is I have to give big props to this Jarvan. Like, those ultimates this entire game have been spot on. He's blocked out Kennen from a lot of fights. He's blocked out Kennen from being able to do damage to the team. He caught that Caitlyn out right there, and multiple other instances. And then that coupled with the fact that Dyrus and Ryze are just so tanky. They won that fight there, and that was all it is. I mean, it came down to a bad engage at Baron fight for the purple team, and victory goes to blue. And so a great replay sent in by Dyrus. I was very back and forth, so definitely appreciate that one. If you guys are watching this later on YouTube, please hit that like button to help me out, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So I'll see you around for the next commentary. So.